Hey guys, welcome back to Interesting Video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a MF top build. So at the time that I played this game, this particular build was the top build on MF, and honestly after the MF rework, I've kind of been just flip-flopping between whether lethality or crit is better. Now at the time of recording of this video, it is no longer the top build as you guys can see here. Actually it's here. It's the third guy's build, who was the top guy when I was playing this game. But yeah, it actually is still there. So it's the third guy here. So yeah, I'm in flip-flopping on whether lethality or crit is better. And honestly, I think both of them have their own merits, and both of them are kind of just good in their own ways. But yeah, so let's just quickly go through the build. Here we have Gluttonous Greaves. For the attack damage as well as the Omni Vamp, we have, of course, Collector as the first item, for Armor Pen as well as Crit, and the Death and Taxes passive, of course, really good on MF for both her Make It Rain as well as her Bullet Time. And then we have Bloodthirster for just a lot of good stats, as well as the Omnivamp. We have IE to increase your crit damage, as well as give you a lot of AD. We have more Reminder for Armor Pen, as well as the Grievous Wounds. And here we have a really interesting one, which is going to be the Black Cleaver. So Black Cleaver, as a last item, is actually pretty decent, because it gives you a lot of tanky stats with the health, and, you know, get more AD, more ability haste. But of course, you can also proc the Sunder passive pretty easily on MF as well. You can proc it, you deal physical damage, you can proc it on things like your Q, and your E, things like that as well. So pretty easy, and movement speed, of course, really good as well. Now press the attack for our first, for our keystone here. Pretty decent keystone. Of course, the debate is always between First Strike and Empowerment slash PTA. I think PTA is a lot more consistent, because after you do your initial burst, you can still kind of output damage with your Empowerment. I think it's probably the better choice after playing MF for quite a bit. We have Brutal, of course, for the on hits, as well as Giant Slayer for the countering of tanks, and Alacrity just to attack a little bit faster and output more DPS. Bone Plating, of course, for the defensive capabilities, and we have Flash together with Exhaust as her summon spells. Ghost is not very useful on MF, because she doesn't really need that movement speed to kind of run people down or anything like that. Exhaust is just better. But with all that said, let's move on to the gameplay. Okay, so now on to the gameplay. As you guys can see from the title of the video, I think this might be one of my best games ever. Not because I played perfectly or anything like that, but it's kind of because everything just goes well, right? We live on 1 HP a couple of times. When we get ganked, we kill 3v2 instead, and like so many times when the enemies are 1 HP, we end up killing them. And it's just kind of like, in my opinion, one of those perfect games where everything goes right. So let's start off at level 1. And see how it goes. I'm going to try talking about a lot of how the gameplay goes instead of the build, because I kind of explained how the build works already, so not too much to talk about that. But here, basically, it starts off with me bouncing onto Vayne. Now, Vayne has the full stack passive, and I have proc the PTA on her. I bounce off the Rakan and kill Vayne level 1, which already is an amazing start to the game. But as you guys can imply from what I just said a couple seconds ago, as well as the title of the video, you can see that the game is just going to go insane. Right, so here, I try to get a bounce on Rakan, doesn't really work. End up taking a tower shot instead. No big deal. Here I get a bounce onto Rakan, and I pop the Make It Rain, and the Make It Rain kills Rakan. So, I was not even expecting that. I was just kind of just tossing it out, just hopefully to do something, but it actually works out. Now here, Xin Zhao flashes in for the kill. I exhaust him. I pop the Flash as well as the Make It Rain. Both of them have full stacks now. Now I'm turning onto Xin Zhao and Vayne. We kill the Xin Zhao. Now Vayne finds herself in no man's land, and we kill the Vayne as well. So there is the first gank coming in from Xin Zhao, causing a double kill for me. Now we get the turret taker, and that's gonna give us more gold, because it's gonna give us a play. Now Rakan for some reason goes in, and now we're just full stacking onto him as well. He flashes away, and we try to get the bounce onto him here to kill, but I hit the wrong minion, and he's now 1 HP. If he sticks around behind the minion, he's gonna die, or if Vayne steps in front of him, he's gonna die. He steps behind the minion, dies because of the bounce. So at this point, it's 1 minute 50 seconds into the game. We have 5 kills. At this point, we have more gold than pretty much like 3 champions on any team combined, right? We had like Rakan plus Xin Zhao plus Vayne is roughly around the goal that we have, which is whack, right? I mean, of course, we don't have as much gold as 3 of them combined, but it's about there. So we're only level 4. It's only 2 minutes into the game now. And yeah, I don't know what to say. So here Vayne gets fully stacked on by me again, forces the flash, which is a good flash by Vayne, right? Because if Seraphine roots her there, I kill her instantly with the amount of gold that I have. And here now this allows us to just push in. Now we can see Xin Zhao is now roaming towards bot. We are not overly afraid of him because we do have exhaust coming up, and Mbessa is kind of cutting him off now. So here we're going to help out a little bit. Mbessa has got caught, and here we have an insane ulti onto 3 people. Seraphine out comes in, we get the first kill, we get the second kill, and now we get condemned by Vayne, but not into the wall. Now here I'm just blasting both of them at the same time. I get exhausted, but I'm able to kill Vayne, and here just look at it, I'm able to kill Xin Zhao as well. I have no idea how that happened. I thought I was dead to rights, but yeah, I mean, what can I say, right? It is really the perfect game. So now we have 8 kills in 3 minutes of the game, and this is obviously a completely one-sided stomp at this point. Now, I've had games where it kind of goes like this, but I end up losing the game, so I'm not overly confident here, in a sense that you can be super duper fed in the early game. I haven't had games on like people like Tristana and Ezreal where at like 3 minutes into the game I have like 8 kills as well, but I end up losing the game anyways because, yeah, you know, shit happens, right? And your team ends up feeding and you end up dying and giving a huge shutdown, you know, things like that, right? So I'm not taking for granted that the game is won because I've lost many games that I'm this fed, and of course that's a lot on me as well because I'm not able to carry despite the fact I'm fed. Here, honestly, Xin Zhao is making a mistake here. He's going for the wrong target. He goes for Seraphine, and now I'm actually 1v1ing the Xin Zhao. I flash away, kite him out, and I'm able to actually pick up the kill onto him. So Xin Zhao, I think for the 3rd time, dies from ganking me, which is honestly embarrassing at this point. Like, you ganked me 3 times, and you fed me 3 times. And twice was because the Vayne wasn't even around, so why are you even ganking? But anyways, now I'm 10-0, 6k gold in my pocket, and it's just getting ridiculous at this point. I'm averaging more than 2 kills a minute, and you can kind of see why I'm saying this is like probably my best game ever. I honestly think it is. I don't remember any game going better than this. In terms of just everything going perfectly. I am going to, spoiler alert, I'm gonna end up dying 1 time, so pretty much aside from that, everything else went perfectly, aside from the 1 death that I got. So here, a huge ulti, and then yeah, a huge ulti from the Seraphine allows me to pretty much chain ulti and kill the Vayne. And then Rakan jumps back into my ulti and gets rooted by Seraphine, and then eats my ulti as well, despite the fact I didn't really target my ulti properly. And yeah, I mean, I'm going on like a broken record at this point, but now 5 minutes into the game, I'm 12-0, and I have my second item Bloodthirster completed. And you can see on the enemy team, no one even has their first item completed yet, and I already have 2 full items, so it's just getting insane at this point. Now with the bot lane tower gone, I'm now going to the mid lane tower, and now I'm collecting all the mid lane tower plates as well. But it's a 4-way goal share because there's 3 of us plus the Herald coming from Mbessa, but we do get the entire tower and all of the plates as well. And now I'm at 8k gold. We now go and hit ahead and secure the dragon. Now let's take a look. With 8k gold, it's pretty much as much gold as, like, yeah, like a lot of people on the enemy team combined. Like any 2 people on the enemy team combined is not even as much gold as myself. And I'm not gonna say that anymore in this video because there's really no point of mentioning it multiple times, right? But here we go back. Push up bot lane. Remember, one of the most common mistakes is if you're super fed in the early game and if tower plates are still up, you always want to push out your lane before you roam to other lanes, because if you don't, the enemy team is just going to get all of the tower plates and they're basically going to make up all the gold that they lost, and you definitely don't want that because basically that means you're going to have wasted all your effort in getting fed because the enemy team is just going to get a lot of that gold back for free. Right, if you give like an enemy ADC all of the tower plates, that's equivalent to more than 3 kills worth of gold. Right, so here, Xin Zhao is trying to chase onto Singe for some reason. We're trying to cut him off and kill him. We put the Make It Rain down to slow him down, and he's now 1 HP. Does survive though, and now Garen and Rakan are here, as well as Fizz is here to stop us. And here I'm thinking I'm probably dead again. I get chain CC, but huge Seraphine out comes in again. I'm able to hit the 3-man ulti and kill all 3 people. And at this point, I'm really thinking like nothing can go wrong this game. Like I think at least on 3 occasions, I'm thinking that I'm completely dead because of a fight that we are outnumbered in, and we just keep dying now. I'm not sure why Xin Zhao is coming here. yeah, I mean, you died to me like 4 times already or something like that. Like, why are you coming here again? And we kill him again, and now we collect all the plates from the top lane as well. And yeah, I'm just fed beyond belief at this point. Again, more than averaging more than 2 kills per minute, 10k gold. Um, and I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, 10k gold, so much more gold than anybody on the enemy team. And all we really need to do now is play macro properly and um, close out the game. Now, I will say that I think one of the main mistakes I made in this game is just going for a very greedy build, right? I'm so fan and I'm just going for the build I prescribed in the intro of this video. But I think that at this point, being 15-0, I think that I should have gone for a GA at this point, right? I'm building IE now, and I think that instead of building IE, I think third item GA would have been better here because you know, I think at this point I'm so fed that just getting that revive and preventing myself from dying would be better. Now here I make a here I think is where I die if I remember correctly. So here we're just committing onto the tower. I'm thinking only Xin Zhao is there, but Rakan was there as well. I get chain CC'd, and at this point I'm thinking that I'm probably dead, but I've thought that like 3 times in this game, so I'm not taking it for granted. But eventually we do end up dying to Xin Zhao. He gets a 1k goal shutdown, but Seraphine does trade the kill back. Fizz hits the ulti on Seraphine. Seraphine does end up dying. But we do end up completing the IE at this point in time. And yeah, so that's really the one big one big blemish in this game. I mean, honestly, I think I've made a lot of mistakes this game. I probably should have died like at least 4 times, but as I said, it's the best game I've ever had. Everything just goes perfectly, with the exception of this one death. And yeah, it's just an insane game. So even with that death, it's still alright. We do give Xin Zhao 1k gold shutdown, but he's only at like about 7k gold now. We're like nearly at 12k gold already. It doesn't really matter. We take out the tower. And here Fizz is going for that bounty, and Seraphine is going to stop him. I'm trying to help Ahri not die to Xin Zhao here, which is why I'm not rushing over to Seraphine. Now here, they're overcommitting onto Ahri, but obviously you can't do that with me around, and I'm able to kill the Xin Zhao as he over chases for the Ahri. Now Fizz making no progress on getting that bounty, and all tier 1 towers are still up. So even though I'm 17-1, you can see my team is doing a decent job as well. Singe has a 1.5k gold lead over Garen, slight lead for Ambessa over Fizz, and Ahri, over Xin Zhao. And Ahri has a slight lead over Fizz as well. And of course, myself and Seraphine have a huge lead over the enemy bot lane. Needless to say, right? So here again, we're gonna clear the wave first before we do anything. In this case, Dragon is up already, and Xin Zhao is not even trying, right? So I think he's making the right decision here. There's no point contesting the Dragon when I'm there, because it's probably gonna lead to them dying. So what they really need to do at this point is either number 1, find me isolated and kill me, or number 2, go to wherever I'm not at and try to kill my teammates instead. So here they're obviously going for the latter strategy of going to kill my teammates. So I'm here just farming it up in the bot lane and just trying to get this tier 2 tower. I am acutely aware Fizz is nearby and could just roam here at any point. I do have the my boots swapped out to going for armor boots and stasis at this point, because stasis is going to really help me against Fizz ulti as well as any hard engage from the enemy team, and help my team to come buy time for my team to come and back me up. And I think that's really the best enchant I could go for in this instance. And now I'm actually going to recall and maybe get the moral reminder if I can afford it, which obviously I cannot, so I'm just gonna get components. And now I'm headed back out onto the map. You can see that the wave is pushing in, and obviously we don't want that. We want to clear the wave. Here in this case, I'm actually letting Singe to have the wave, because once again, one of the most common mistakes of being very fed is just taking everything for yourself, right? Of course, you do want to have a lot of gold on yourself, but there does come a point like where I am now that I think I need my team to get more fed as well, so that if I die, my team can hopefully get something done. So I'm not fighting Singe for that wave. Fight breaks out in the top lane, but enemy team basically has used everything on people who are not me, and this allows me to just come in and clean up. Fizz tries to one-shot me, but I'm able to pop the stasis and block all his damage. Now I'm just ulting without even any like CC or follow-up, just because my ult does so much damage at this point that the enemy team has to just run the moment I ult. So now Baron is up, and I'm thinking that now's the time for Baron because we're so fed. We can just force the Baron. Baron has only just spawned. It's super duper squishy, and we can get the Baron real quickly. In the meantime, my team is just basically zoning everyone else away from the Baron, and we're able to quickly pick up the Baron. And we can probably now just use Baron to either end the game or at least get an inhibitor. Honestly, a good ulti from Seraphine into a huge MF ult is just going to instantly end the game if we even, get an opportunity to do that. Because my ulti is just going to instantly evaporate everybody on their team. Now, speaking of which, the enemy team is running down my team, and I'm trying to make it there to help them out. Fortunately, they've used pretty much all their spells on my team already, so it's a simple cleanup job from where I'm standing. Here, Vayne just getting run down by me. I exhaust her to just slow her down, and enemy team just surrenders, and obviously we pick up the dub. Not obviously, but thankfully we pick up the dub in this one. And I'm gonna leave you guys with the insane stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.